Also at Gamescom opening night live, we had some new features drop, new video featurettes of Cyberpunk 2077. Phantom Liberty is coming out this September. It's their new paid DLC, but they were very clear to mention, even if you don't buy the DLC, you can take advantage of Cyberpunk 2.0. Ooh, who cares? You know what?
Shut up, Siri.
Shut up, Siri. Siri's listen to me. So the question here really is going to be, with these new changes, will this be enough to bring us back? We brought out a video recently that was like, will Phantom Liberty bring us back? But now it's like, will these updates to the game be like, I might have to jump back into it and revisit it? Will Jason jump back into it?
No.
Will Austin jump back into it? Let's talk about the updates, and then we'll kind of answer that question here at the end. So you got to watch the whole video to find out more. But first up, most importantly, I want to mention the biggest change I think they showcased in this video for 2.0 is the redesigned cyberware and perk system.
Okay.
Which I think is pretty huge. So, like, literally, there's nothing the same about the perk system as it was before.
It looks so much better.
Well, it's like instead of that branching pathway thing, it's just like the up and down.
It's like
up
and down, vertical.
Here, you might go back and pause.
We'll go back.
I want to see what that
system. Boom.
Yeah, like it's just like it makes sense now. It's like, okay, you got your cool section. You go down. You got them branch. It kind of reminds you of Marvel's Avengers actually a little bit. You know, a little branchy branch going on.
You're right.
But I'm so happy that they like redesigned the system. I kind of wish I had waited to finish the game until the system came out.
That's what happened to one of my friends, Gunner.
Yeah.
He was just like, I don't know if I should keep playing or just wait till it drops because they're supposed to change it. I was like, fuck it, dude, keep playing.
I mean, hey, just go back and play it again.
Jason.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was talking to my friend Nick the other day, who's also playing through this game, and he said he's played through it 3 times now, and he built 3 different characters, 3 different builds. And I never thought about like builds being like an important factor to this, although there is the capability for it to exist. It never felt like the game kind of supported that, like a Baldur's Gate does, for example, with like how different they all are. But he's got like a melee focused one. He's got one that's all guns, all blazing, and he's got one that's heavily focused on like hacking stuff. So it's just like all he does is just goes around and hacks shit, and he doesn't really have to fight people as much. And I feel like now with this redesign, it's gonna be a lot easier and more conducive to allowing for that, which I'm very excited about. And then there's also so the cybernetics has been changed a lot too. So that's all a different new system, which looks a lot easier to manage than it did before, which I'm excited about. So, because I never really touched the cyberware that often, because I feel like the game didn't guide you towards new cyberware parts as much. Like you had to go find
really
a Ripper dock or whatever. And then by the time you get there, it's like, okay, they got like 3 of them. And
like, I wish they had like, oh, I want to change my right arm out because it's the one I shoot with. So now it like has faster fire rate.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and I want my left arm to be stronger because I'm going to hold a melee weapon in there while I fight. Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm going to change my legs out because I want them to be faster. So now I'm faster. And I'm going to change my brain out because I want to be smarter, not stupider.
And I want to change my butt out so I can cut off them big old turds real quick.
There you go.
that's exactly right.
Put a rocket in there. Butt knives.
Butt knives. Just hibachi.
Hibachi. Oh, shit.
Hibachi turds.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's what it is. It's shit.
It is. Another new thing I think is this relic section skill tree. It's a relic skill tree basically.
Yes.
Which this seems brand new.
Like
this
Illithid.
was not there.
It was not there. It's like Illithid powers from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, it's like Illithid power. So it refers to the chip that you have in your head, embedded in the skull. In this update, you can access abilities granted by the relic. And they were showing things where it was like you can like you can like pick people up and throw them at people. And you can like launch in there and like drop down, do some crazy like AoE kind of like blat. It's like you got superpowers now. Like it's kind of crazy and it's kind of awesome. Like that's
about
a whole
time.
other level. You know? Yeah. So I'm excited to see what that entails.
Okay.
There's a combat overhaul, so everything's completely different in the combat. Upgrade enemy AI with more dynamic attacks and gruesome melee moves.
Hope so.
Combat moves. Players can deflect bullets with swords and even throw enemies at other enemies, as we mentioned earlier. So that's pretty cool. And then the vehicles have changed a lot. So you can now shoot out of your car, which is like, holy shit, can't believe
Vehicle
that.
combat.
Look at that.
Oh, you can even
also-
hack the vehicles so they explode and shit.
Yeah. Hack
Dude.
them to explode. You can hack them to like drive off the course and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So that makes it very interesting. And then revamp police. So the police are actually going to do shit now,
About
which I
time.
thought they were already putting that update in the game, but I guess they never brought it out yet
No, I think police did get a revamp, but it wasn't
to
significant
this level.
enough.
Yeah.
And people were like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, now they put up roadblocks. Looks like if you're a big enough threat, you have like the big
So it's almost like
SWAT
wanted
team
levels.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. The Mac Tech is what they call them. They're
Yeah,
elite
that's-
squad with heavier firepower.
Yeah. So I was looking at this and I was like, this actually might be good.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know how much it changes. And I think it's good that, you told Gunnar to play through it because I think it's good to be like, okay, this is what it was like before, and then go back and play it again and be like, oh.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
is it-
basically like playing a sequel almost,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
a sequel to this game.
yeah.
So
So I'm curious to know if it's good enough. Like what they have here is going to bring me back.
Yeah.
I want to try it out.
Yeah.
But is it going to be, is it going to play well enough where it's like, I'm going to beat this game? Because I don't think I
probably
beat
not.
it.
You should just see a bunch of people T-posing
Yeah.
going around.
That would be the worst.
I mean, I will say, I never encountered many bugs when I just went back and finished it. Like it was running pretty smooth. The only problem was there were still performance issues, but
Yeah.
that was just because I had it turned up all the way and I had to
Right.
drop it down
Yeah.
a little bit. But
Right.
the game was running pretty smoothly overall, except for like that one. There was one side quest I did that I had to fight this guy. And then whenever I started the brawl to do the fight, I got locked into this like circle, but the brawl never started. The guy wouldn't fight me. Okay, I did have actually a lot of bugs. 'Cause then I told you guys about. I forgot because then I told you guys about that one boss that I was supposed to like go
part
through
of
this
the
door, and I
game.
could go through the door, and then
feature.
the boss was like standing off in a corner, looking at the wall, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
yeah.
But
I had a few
don't know.
bugs. I don't think I had like a lot of them.
Yeah, I am really hyped though to get back into this world, and I mean, I really genuinely, despite all the problems, love this game, and I think this is the type of game I like to play. I'm not in the whole fantasy stuff as much as like this futuristic
fantasy?
techie stuff. It's not like old fantasy.
Futuristic
Like
fantasy.
future fantasy. This is science fiction.
Fantasy is
Still
magic.
fantasy.
Yes.
Oh, fantasy is just classified as magic. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
fantasy
gotta
is
have magic
old.
and dragons.
I think fantasy is old. Yeah, it's like, would you call Mass Effect fantasy?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Sci-fi fantasy. There's magic
Yeah.
powers.
yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. I just. Then what do you? Then how do you? How would you classify then like Dragon Age? Like what is that?
That's fantasy.
Okay, then Mass Effect.
Fantasy. It's all fake.
Then how do you determine the difference between the two?
One's
One's
futuristic
sci-fi.
fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
One's,
and then what's the description of Dragon Age?
Medieval fantasy.
But it's not medieval.
Is it not?
It's not like castles and shit.
There's castles
Not
in there?
always. Not in some games like Dragon Age or Baldur's Gate may not have castles. What if it doesn't have castles? That's what I'm saying.
Wait, why does medieval have to be castles?
Because it's medieval age. that's what that era was. Medieval. It's like castles and shit.
Anyway,
I'm
this
just,
is not
like,
going to
trying
be
to think
solved
of a
here.
way.
This is
I don't
not going to
know.
be solved right now.
I don't know.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
I know, but I'm like trying to fit like seriously
So,
though.
wait,
like,
what would you classify cyberpunk as?
science fiction?
Okay, so sci-fi fantasy. That's what it is.
I was called
No,
sci-fi.
I wouldn't say sci-fi fantasy because there's no magic.
I don't think fantasy. No, you guys
Fantasy
are
is
missing.
magic.
I think of
Fantasy's
fantasy
not
as like
magic.
Yes.
back in
Fantasy
the
is
day.
just like fiction.
Okay, look, we're going to solve this after this segment, but
Okay, we'll
yes.
solve it after.
So you're not going to play this again?
Oh fuck no.
It has what's Mr. Elba in it?
Yeah, I love that man to death.
I know. I want to play his
love him
content.
to death.
I know.
But no.
Well, and it's supposed to be like stealth and stuff.
Not
It's supposed
that
to be
much.
like-
Not that
this
much.
game is gonna be like Splinter Cell. It's gonna be like Splinter Cell vibe. It's like a stealth, like action thriller,
Interesting.
or like a espionage spy.
I see you have
thriller.
fantasy pulled up. What are you?
I do. It's the power or process of creating especially unrealistic or improbable mental images in response to a psychological need.
What?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
fake
the first definition of fantasy.
fantasy. This is fake,
Imaginative fiction featuring especially strange settings and grotesque characters.
right? Fantasy.
There's no
Cyberpunk is fantasy.
Yeah, but this isn't strange though. This is just normal.
That's true. That's
it
true.
This
is
just
strange.
real life.
Who had what?
This is rooted in reality, man.
I hate you both.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I think. Well, stay tuned because we're going to find out if it's worth playing again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you feel it's going to bring you back? Awesome.
Like I said, everything here, I'm going to play it again.
Yeah.
To see if it's good, and if I do like it, I'll probably get the DLC.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get the DLC yet.
Until you know for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's fair. 100 plus new items. The
I
new
know, it's
cars are pretty
crazy.
sick too. I'm excited.
I mean, the
got
car that you
Johnny-
can spin around and just shoot everybody with, like, holy
yeah.
crap.
I found Johnny Silverhand's car in the game.
Nice.
It's his Porsche, and it's super sick. I had to like do a special side quest where you like go around and do some stuff, and then you have to like you find out that there was like this shipping container over somewhere, and if you go to pull the shipping container down and open it up, it's got the keys to Johnny Silverhand's car. It's just like inside because some guy stole it and was about
Nice.
to put it on a ship and get rid of it.
Nice.
And
Sell it.
I found it. I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Look at you.
it's awesome, dude! So good."